Good evening, it's 5:30 on Wednesday, January 28th, 2026. I'll call to order this regular meeting of the Cuyahoga Falls City School District Board of Education. Ms. Joycoy, will you please call the roll?
Mr. Gomez?
Here.
Mr. Harris?
Here.
Mrs. Schaefer?
Here.
Ms. White? Mrs. Zimmerman?
Here.
Ms. White's not able to be here tonight, unfortunately. Her heater went out and she is at home with the person repairing it in this weather. So we send her our best wishes. Item B is approval of the agenda. Number 1 is a motion to approve the agenda. It's recommended the Board of Education approves the agenda of the January 28, 2026 Board of Education meeting. Action by the Board of Education, adoption of a consent agenda means that all items are adopted by one singular motion unless a member of the Board of Education, Treasurer, or Superintendent requests that any such item be removed from the consent agenda and voted upon separately.
So moved.
Second.
Any discussion? Please call the roll.
Mr. Gomez?
Aye.
Mr. Harris?
Aye.
Mrs. Schaefer?
Aye.
Ms. Zimmerman?
Aye.
Thank you. Item C is our item opening ceremony. Number 1 is our informational items. This meeting is a meeting of the Cuyahoga Falls Board of Education in public for the purpose of conducting the school district's business. It is not a public community meeting, although there are opportunities for public participation. If an individual wishes to address the board regarding a topic found on the meeting agenda, the individual must complete a registration form found inside the attendance notebook and present it to the treasurer. Following the introduction of the topic by the board president, followed by board discussion, the individual will be recognized. If an individual wishes to address the board regarding a topic not found on the meeting agenda, they must notify the superintendent and/or board president of the topic no later than 3 business days in advance of the meeting. These individuals may share their comments during the board business portion of the agenda. In both cases, the individual will preface comments by announcement of their name and address and limit comments to 3 minutes. All statements should be directed to the board president. No person may address or question board members individually. An unabridged board agenda for this meeting can be found on your electronic device at the address shown on the screen behind us, and for your convenience, hard copies of the board agenda may be found on the table by the sign-in book down by Mr. Harris. The next regularly scheduled meeting of the Cuyahoga Falls Board of Education is February 11th, 2026 at 5:30 p.m. here in the 612 Performing Arts Center, but over in the Black Box Theater. And now for our pledge and welcome, Mr. Harris.
Please stand for the pledge if you're able. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Welcome. Our vision, Cuyahoga Falls City School District, the hub of our community, committed to a culture of caring. We innovate, we create, we personalize education for all. Our mission, every student, every day, every opportunity.
Thank you, Mr. Harris. Brings us to item D, presentations. For the first one, turn it over to Ms. Joycoy and Dr. Selko.
Well, okay, I didn't know who was starting. So I just wanted to let everyone know that's here this evening. January is board member appreciation month, and so who you see here before you are 4 of our 5 board members. And each month in January, we like to recognize and do a couple of special things for our board to show our appreciation for all that they do and the amount of time and hours that they dedicate to your children and our district. And so we've done a couple little things as we do each year. And I recall weather or something impacting what I wanted to do last year as well. So we had some signs delivered to each of their homes, and the ground is frozen, so I don't know how successful any of those signs were with getting into their yards, but it was a nice yard sign for them. We also have a proclamation that we'll read in a moment. We also had a surprise for you created by our students, but because of all the snow days, they're en route?
They're in
Oh, wow.
They will be here in about 5 minutes.
Well, there you go. Wow, we're special delivery because I didn't think we would have them since with all these days that we've been out of school. So we have a special surprise for you coming, and then we'll have a little something for you in executive session. But with that, Mrs. Stoykoy will be reading a proclamation, and then afterwards I think we should all applaud our board members for all that they do for us. So, Ms. Stoykoy?
Okay. Whereas the mission of the public schools is to meet the diverse educational needs of all children and to empower them to become competent, productive contributors to a democratic society and an ever-changing world. And whereas local school board members are committed to children and believe that all children can be successful learners and that the best education is tailored to the individual needs of the child. And whereas local school board members work closely with parents, educational professionals, and other community members to create the educational vision we want for our students. And whereas local school board members are responsible for ensuring the structure that provides a solid foundation for our school system. And whereas local school board members are strong advocates for public education and are responsible for communicating the needs of the school district to the public and the public's expectations to the district. Now, therefore, we, Dr. Andrea Selico, Superintendent, and Ms. Christy Stoikoi, Treasurer, do hereby declare our appreciation to the members of the Cuyahoga Falls City School Board and proclaim the month of January 2026 as School Board Recognition Month in the city of Cuyahoga Falls and the village of Silver Lake. All citizens join us in recognizing the dedication and hard work of local school board members and in working with them to mold an education system that meets the needs of both today's and tomorrow's children.
All right.
Now we have presentation number 2, our PBIS recognition, Mrs. Holly Merkel. I think she's going to start by helping everyone understand what PBIS means.
All right, good evening, everyone. Thank you for being here on this frigid evening. Tonight, I'm really excited to recognize several of our school buildings for earning PBIS recognition awards from the Ohio Department of Education and Workforce for the 24-25 school year, so for last school year. PBIS, or Positive Behavior Interventions and Supports, is a school-wide approach that focuses on teaching positive behaviors, setting clear expectations, and creating safe, welcoming environments where students feel supported and ready to learn. In our district, families may know this as Black Tiger Pride. Across preschool through 12th grade, students are taught to be respectful, take responsibility, and practice safety. These expectations are embedded across the district, from classrooms and hallways to buses and cafeterias. This helps create consistency as students grow and move from one building to the next. Schools earn PBIS recognition by consistently teaching these expectations, acknowledging positive behaviors, and supporting students when challenges arise. There are 3 levels that a building can earn: bronze, silver, or gold, and we had 6 of our 9 buildings earn one of these awards. So we'll start with our bronze award recipients. And on behalf of Bullock Elementary, I don't think Mrs. Tucker could be here today, so Mr. Oswald is going to accept the award on behalf of Bullock Middle School. And I just have to give a special shout out to Mrs. Tucker and her team. They worked really hard as we looked to merge our middle schools to make sure we had really clear and consistent expectations across the middle school. So a special shout out to your team. Yep, absolutely. On behalf of Silver Lake Elementary, if Mrs. Trevelli could come forward. And then we'll move to our silver award recipients. So on behalf of DeWitt Elementary, where Mrs. Scala, please come forward. And on behalf of Preston Elementary, if Principal Brown could come forward. And then our last silver award recipient is Richardson Elementary. So if Mrs. Terlange could come forward. And then we actually had one school that earned gold, which is the highest that you can achieve in the state. And I'm not sure, at least in my time in the district, I don't recall anyone receiving gold, but it is Lincoln Elementary. So if Mrs. Hall could come forward. So beyond our individual schools that we just mentioned, our district also earns statewide PBIS recognition. There's about 700 districts across the state, and we were one of 67 that earned this award. And we did so because we had 6 of our 9 buildings receive some kind of state recognition, and it really shows that we were committed as a district to implementing PBIS. So I'll just close on a personal note. These achievements and these recognitions are really the result of dedication from our staff, our teachers, our administrators, students, and families. When I walk into the buildings, I see these recognitions that in action. I see that we're teaching expectations, reteaching expectations when needed, and really creating safe and welcoming environments where our students are really supported. So thank you for all of the hard work in the buildings, and congratulations.
Thank you, Mrs. Merkel, for your leadership in that area. Next up, we have Mr. Johnson for athletic recognition for some of our fall athletes.
Good evening. I first would like to thank the Board of Education and Dr. Selico for having me here this evening and getting the chance to honor our student athletes who had outstanding seasons. This past fall has been something very difficult. We went through a transitioning from Clifford Stadium to Lambert Stadium, and it was one of the hardest but greatest accomplishments I think we've done in our athletic program in a while. It took so many great people to make this happen, and I wouldn't have been able to do it without the leadership of Dr. Selico, our Board of Education, all our central office members. It took so many people, but our coaches, our athletes, our families, our parents, thank you. Thank you very much. Tonight, it is my privilege to recognize 4 outstanding student athletes who earned first team All-Suburban League honors in their respective sports. This is one of the highest individual honors an athlete can receive, as it is an award based on opposing coaches who see what athletes do firsthand. We are proud to honor these 4 individuals, and if you could please come up all together. First, Zoe Green, girls volleyball, first team All-Suburban League. That's all right. Next is Lily Plovic, first team All-Suburban League, girls soccer. And Lily, if you could come up this way, that'd be great. Next is Joey Stifler, first team All-Suburban League, boys soccer. And our final athlete is Giovanni Tuttle, first team All-Suburban League football. I don't think Giovanni's here tonight, but we can still give him a round of applause. I also need to send a special happy birthday wish to Joey Stifler today, because I know it's his birthday, so we can wish him a happy birthday as well. These four athletes not only are exceptional on the field and court, but they excel in the classroom. Their combined grade point average is over 4.0, and many of them carry over a 4.2 or higher cumulative GPA. The level of academic achievement paired with athletic excellence speaks volumes about their work, discipline, and commitment. Each of these student athletes is a leader in competition, leaders in the locker room, leaders within the school and community. They model what it means to truly be a Black Tiger. We want to thank these guys again, and great season. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Johnson. And next up, we have Ms. Bogdan for our Dynamic Fourth Grade Duo Staff Star Award.
Good evening. So many people getting recognized this evening. Congratulations to everybody. It is my honor every month to stand up here and help recognize staff members that are nominated by their colleagues. And this evening, I want to ask Aaron Fulton, who nominated two of our amazing top Tigers, or staff Star Awards recipients, to come up and join me as we recognize, and Tammy Brown. Get up here, Tammy Brown. Yeah, you can clap for them. You need to fill in the space. It's a long walk. And we are recognizing this evening two amazing teachers, Lisa Homan and Joanna Schmelzer. So come on up. Knowing you two, I thought you'd go that way and make it even longer. I knew you would. I knew you would.
I will take my mask off because, Lisa, I don't know if you know this, but I have personally been quarantining at home for the last 3 days just for you. Right? Oh, I love you too. So I nominated Joanna and Lisa for this award. Now, typically it is given to a single person. However, this team is just a powerhouse together, and I know that they needed to be recognized together because of that teamwork. They are an amazing group of teachers, and I'm not going to read what I wrote, but I want you to kind of hear what I see when I enter their classrooms. So first, when I come into their classrooms, the first thing that I consistently see is that structure that they have. The structure that they have built into the classroom. And it's never that harsh and rigid structure. It's that loving structure that gives kids that safety that they need during the day, that makes them feel welcome and warm and makes them participate in all of the activities that are being done throughout the day. So when I enter the room, typically they are joining their classrooms together, and usually when you see that many kids coming together, you would expect chaos. However, as they will both tell us, everything runs like clockwork because they have built in so much structure into their day that all they have to do is say one word, and their kids are rearranging the entire space in order to accommodate all those students and be prepared for a lesson with everybody together. Now, while I am going through those lessons, what I typically see is a lot of engagement, and you can tell that is from the consistency of their classroom. They have given their students expectations. Their students feel comfortable raising their hands. When I am doing my lessons, I'm doing them on technology that the students don't always have familiarity with. However, they are never afraid to raise their hands. They feel that confidence and that safety from being in this structured environment. And then while I am taking a back seat and watching them teach, they show that they hold their students to high expectations. Their students are raising their hands, they're participating. I don't see students who are off task. I see them fully engaged in the curriculum. And I see them enjoying being with their teachers, that they know they're being held to higher expectations. And I think they feel safe and welcome because of that. So I wanted to make sure that I recognize them as that team because I am very sad to say that this is their last year of teaching. So I wanted them to be recognized for the true powerhouse collaboration that they show every day in the classroom.
Speaking on behalf of my friend and I, thank you. Thank you, parents, for entrusting your kids with us. I think it's worked out pretty well. And Erin, thank you. Thank you. Yes, and for us to be going out together.
33 years.
Yes. What a year. What a year. Ish.
Thank you.
Thanks.
So I want to thank Erin and Ms. Bogdan and Dr. Selico and the board. I love that these two have been recognized. They are fantastic, just human beings. When I came to Preston 10 years ago to be principal, one of the greatest things about it was all of not only the young Black Tigers, but the alumni that worked in the building. I think we were at 8 when I started, and these are 2. So I so appreciate that we are initiating the stand and the microphone with 2 Black Tiger alumni with this wonderful award that they deserve so much. They will be greatly missed. And they never just sit back and say, oh, it's our last year, we're going to kick back. Nope, they're working harder. They're seeing what Jody's sending them next to do, and they're making sure other people see it, and they are just a shining light in the building that will be missed.
That brings us to our top Tiger recognition. Yes, Dr. Selico would go up to the microphone and get us started.
Good evening. Good evening. All right, just making sure we're all still there, still awake. It's such a different setting we're not accustomed to. So the good news is, I guess could be good news, you are all kind of the experiment this evening because we have not had our top Tigers in the auditorium before. So welcome, number one, and if it's your first time here, hopefully you are enjoying the beauty of this facility. We are just super excited and impressed with it and hope you are as well. So we are really a little out of sorts because we're going to be doing things for the first time, and that's okay because this is the first time for many of you, so you won't know really any difference. So just follow our lead, and hopefully it'll all go smoothly. That's our plan. So how many of you, for the first time, are having a student recognized as top Tiger? Anybody? Okay, very good. All right, so let me tell you a little bit about the recognition itself, and then we'll get into some more of the directions. So Top Tiger is an award that's given by our Board of Education to students each month, and the students are chosen by various staff members in their buildings, and I get the honor of reading about each one of them. So I'm going to ask, and students, I need you to follow directions really closely, okay? Because we're going to try this out. And if it doesn't work that well, that's okay. We can always revise and, for next time. But all right, so students, when I call your name, here's what's going to happen. You're going to come up. The easiest way is to come up these stairs here and come like right around here. Mr. Harris is going to help me in just a moment. He'll come up and give you lots of awards and prizes and goodies. And then you are going to stand here while I read about you, and then you're going to come around here. And Miss Stewart is here, and she is going to take your picture. Now here's where it gets a little different. We are going to, after you take your picture, you're going to sit on the risers that are behind here, and you're going to wait as we go through all the students, and then at the end, we will have opportunities to get some good pictures of everyone together. Families, you'll have an opportunity to take pictures as well. When we are finished with that, we are going to head back to the lobby, which is this way and to the left. You'll see like our lobby area where there's some displays of different artworks, etc. You will go back there and get a t-shirt and some further directions from, I believe, Mr. Arjun. So you're here this evening, so he will give you some further directions. In addition, it's not in front. I thought I would look. Mrs. Carlisle, I see you smiling back there. Where are the signs? I don't have one up here, do I? You have them? Okay. Well, you're going to get a great yard sign from our teachers union, and Mrs. Carlisle is here representing, she's the president of the teachers union, who were kind enough to purchase those, so you could put those in your yards or in your windows. So you're going to go home with lots of fun stuff. But all of those things aren't possible without our generous community sponsors, including our Cuyahoga Falls Schools Foundation and Alumni Association. So we want to thank our partners who have helped make this evening and every month possible, and all the awards that we give to our students. So at this time, I believe Mr. Argis is going to come up from the foundation and say a few words. And I'm noticing a delay, so we are learning as we go here that things take a little longer because we have lots of walking and transitions that we didn't have in our library, but that's okay. This is great. It's a great display for our students, right? All right, thank you.
First, I'd like to welcome all of you that came tonight and braved that frigid Arctic weather that we're having. It's wonderful to see this many people. And I want to say how proud I am of this building. I am, again, a very proud Falls alumni. My name is Dan Argenis. I graduated Cuyahoga Falls High School in 1970. I'm a Lincoln Elementary School alumni, a Sill Middle School, which is gone, alumni. And the reason I'm telling you this is because as a top Tiger, and you've grown up here in Cuyahoga Falls, it's a wonderful place. I think one of the best places to grow up in the country. And again, first of all, thank you, Dr. Selico and the board for having us here. The Alumni Association is rather unique. We're a foundation. Then we sponsor every year around $150,000 in scholarships that the students can apply for. And every year for the past many years that I've been involved, we've been extremely blessed to have a number of great students go to colleges all around the country. And it's been our honor to help them with our foundation monies. We also have part of our group is the Alumni Association, and what we do is we have a website where we have information like the your yearbooks, every yearbook from, gosh, I believe the late 1800s all the way through to recently have been scanned and are on the website. We also do a memoriam. We have information for the scholarships. So it's a very robust website, and when you get your Top Tiger Award today, we'll have a folder for you so that you can take it home and access the site. We encourage everybody. If you're born, raised, and went to school and graduated from Cuyahoga Falls, we encourage everybody to become a member of our Alumni Association. And what it does is it helps us, gives us the opportunity to give more students an opportunity to go on with their education. We're, again, very honored for that. And just as Dr. Selico said, we are set up in the lobby. If you go out the back door and to the left, there are some glass cases that are showcasing some student art. I'll have a table there. We'll have t-shirts for you. Again, those folders, and I think the art signs as well. Again, thank you very, very much, board, Dr. Selico, and us for letting us be a very humble part of this. And again, congratulations to all the top Tigers. Thank you.
All right. Well, students, are you ready? Oh my goodness, 2 people are ready? Oh goodness. Well, then I think we should just go home if we're not ready. Right? Are you ready? I'm ready. All right, now the parents are getting involved. All right, we're ready. Okay, so we're really going to throw you again. I'm going to throw the board off a little bit because they are so used to my system, which is going in alphabetical order and starting with our elementary schools. Well, guess what, elementary principals? We're not starting with you. And the reason is we have young ones here, and to sit up here, we're going to see how well I have confidence that our older students will last longer on the stage, and maybe our little ones. That you would do great, I know it. But we're going to rely on our older students to model that first, okay? So we're going to start with our high school students. But before I do that, what I'm going to ask, there's one detail that we missed that we didn't do this evening, which was to have our students, if you could come maybe over here, if you're getting your name called this evening, can you come over here, and then when I call your name, it'll be easier for you to come forward. That was our little oversight, so sorry. So if you're getting an award, come on over here. Mr. Elder is here to help.
Oh, they're all coming now.
Thank you. Excellent. And he's fine there too. We're all good. Stay. Okay. All right. Well, we're going to get started. Thank you. Excellent. Thank you for your cooperation there. All right. So our first student we're going to start to recognize this evening is from our high school, and it's Taylor Carr. Oh, all ready to go? Taylor? Yep. Come on up. So Taylor's going to come up here. Okay, Mr. Mack and Mr. Newland have had the privilege of working with Taylor, AKA TC, all right, for the past 3 school years through their agriculture program, which I was guessing that was the case. During this time, she has been one of their most dependable students, as evident through her work as an ambassador of their program for the past 2 years. Taylor routinely travels to schools inside and outside the district to share her knowledge, and whether she is turning compost on an 80-degree August afternoon or caring for the chickens when the temperature is in the single digits, Taylor does it with a positive attitude and a work ethic that few could match. I actually have a picture with a chicken. I'll show you one day. We have no doubt that whatever she chooses to do in the future, it will be done with passion, integrity, and a huge smile. Congratulations. Our second high school student is unable to be here, but we won't feel too badly because she's in Orlando. So we won't feel too bad. And that student is Brooklyn Roman. So congratulations. We can try to have him next time. All right. Our next student is from the Cuyahoga Falls Middle School, and that is Leilana Guest. Is she here this evening? As an exemplary 8th grade student, Leilana balances her academic commitments with significant extracurricular involvement, including her participation on the wrestling team and her role on the middle school morning announcement team. She consistently demonstrates Black Tiger pride through her unwavering dedication to her studies and her proactive sense of responsibility. Known for her welcoming personality and integrity, Leilana is a student who can always be relied upon to do the right thing. She is highly regarded by both her peers and the faculty as a trustworthy and helpful leader. We thank her for her positive contributions and for serving as a role model within our school community. Congratulations. All right, our next student is Amelia Horn. Amelia? Amelia's teachers state that Amelia has a great attitude and is very resilient. She is often seen helping others inside and outside of the classroom. Amelia also volunteered her time to help run the middle school's annual reindeer games before winter break. She is friendly, helpful, a hard worker, and is a great example of a Black Tiger. Amelia, continue to keep up the great work. Congratulations. All right, we're heading into our elementary schools. Ready? We're going backwards, though. Starting with Silver Lake. Max Kress. Max is digging that tie. Nice. We'll cancel. Max has established himself as a kind and caring student. He is dedicated to working hard in the classroom every day and enjoys learning new things. Max also shows kindness to his peers, and always includes others. Furthermore, his dedication to kindness and commitment to learning is inspirational to his peers. His consistent effort in showing Black Tiger pride through responsibility, kindness, and safety made him a clear choice for this recognition. Congratulations, Max. Oh, wait. Max, come on. You're going to get your picture. Miss Stewart was off task. There she is. All right. Our next student is Benjamin Summers. Benjamin? So do you go by Ben, Benny, Benjamin? Ben? All right, I got it. That's good, because that's what it says. Right there. Nice. I was just testing you. All right. You can smile. It's okay. Loosen up. He's a little nervous. All right. Ben was chosen as a top Tiger for consistently showing positive traits. He demonstrates responsibility by always having his homework completed and turned in on time. He also shows exceptional kindness to peers by welcoming others to play at recess. That's very kind. Furthermore, Ben is an eager learner who easily accepts new challenges and always strives to do his best. Way to show Black Tiger pride with everything you do. We are proud of you. Congratulations, Ben. All right, moving on to Richardson. Our first student is Wyatt Allen. All right. Wyatt is one of the top leaders in his grade level. He never complains and takes on responsibilities with ease. His participation in class discussions is valuable, always providing thoughtful insight. He is helpful, concerned about others, and liked by everyone. At school, he participates in 24 math and is outstanding at Gaga Ball. Oh, I know that pit over there, yep. Wyatt says math is his favorite subject. Outside of school, he likes to play basketball, hang out with friends, and his sister. We cannot wait to see what the future holds for Wyatt. Congratulations, bud. Now, how unusual is this? This is our second Amelia, am I right? Didn't we have Amelia earlier? We don't see that as often. All right, well, our next student is Amelia Pikarski. Amelia exemplifies Black Tiger pride. She never complains and takes on responsibility with ease. She comes in each day ready and eager to learn. She participates in class discussions, always providing thoughtful insight. She is helpful to her peers, concerned about others, and has a kind heart, which makes her liked by everyone. Outside of school, she loves playing basketball, going to art classes, and hanging out with her family, especially her brother. Wow, you don't hear that often. Good job, Amelia. You get bonus points. Keep up the good work. Congratulations. All right, our next student is from Price, and that is Samuel Badarai. Said it right. I'm getting a nod, but he's not here? Okay. All right, Samuel. We'll let him know, Ms. Wyckoff, that we were talking about him. All right, our next student is Luna Port. Luna? Luna demonstrates perseverance in the classroom. She approaches assignments, even challenging ones, with a positive can-do attitude. A great example of her dedication is her approach to our math work. When math problems don't come easily or take longer than her peers to finish, she cheerfully and responsibly takes the work home and returns the completed problems the very next day. Beyond academics, Luna is a kind classmate who shows empathy. She considers how her actions affect others. We often observe her showing kindness by making requests to peers in a polite, friendly voice. We are so proud of the positivity Luna shows every day. Good for you. Congratulations. All right. Moving on to Preston, we have Kelly Lockhart. Kelly? Is Kelly here? No? Okay. All right. Well, congratulations to Kelly. Our next student is Rian Rai. Rian? Hi, Rian. Rian has been ready to learn since the moment the school year began. He is a joyful student who is always excited about what's next. He is always participating and keeps his teachers on their toes with his intelligence. Ooh. He has such a positive attitude and finds the good in others. He is creative and enjoys putting puzzles together or building with Legos. He cheers his classmates on each day and is a great example of kindness and positivity for everyone. Thank you for being such a bright light at Preston. Congratulations. All right, moving on to Lincoln, we have Roman Capone. I'm making all these connections. Our high school student's last name was Roman. Wow, it's exciting to me. Maybe not for you guys. I'm getting excited over here. All right, hi. Ready? All right. All right, Roman is an excellent student who works very hard to be successful. Roman is kind, respectful, and a good friend to all. Roman is always looking for ways to help others academically as well as socially. He has a very big heart and always knows when somebody needs a little pick-me-up. Roman includes everyone and is a team player. Outside of school, Roman is very active. He has been a ninja warrior, whoa, look out, at Super Ninja World in Cuyahoga Falls for 4 years. I know that place. My daughter went there for 1 day and that was it. Yeah, that's all it took. I don't want to go back. All right, Roman loves to draw and create graphic novels. He has had aspirations of being in the Army since he's been 2. Keep up the great work, Roman. That's very great. That's good to hear. All right, our next student from Lincoln is Anna Royston. All right, Anna embodies the spirit of a quiet leader who consistently sets a positive example for her peers. Although she is soft-spoken, her actions speak volumes, for she is exceptionally kind, bright, and well-mannered. Anna demonstrates a deep sense of responsibility and is always willing to help, whether it's assisting a classmate, lending a hand to the teacher, or helping around the classroom. Her love for learning shines through in her dedication to reading, schoolwork, and engaging in focused activities like puzzles and art. Outside of the classroom, she cherishes time spent with her family. Way to go, Anna. Congratulations. All right, Tristan, are you ready? Tristan, we're moving on to preschool.
You skipped
All
a
right.
wed.
Pardon me?
You skipped a wed.
Oh, I did. Well, you know what we're doing, Tristan, because I already told them it's coming. I don't know. That would be tragic if it's not in here. Maybe it's sticky. Oh, there it is. Well, he's coming up. Ready? All right, we're going to preschool. Tristan, come on up, buddy. This is Tristan Gordon, our preschooler. There are our DeWitt friends, I bet, huh? All right, Tristan, we are proud to honor Tristan for the incredible growth he has shown throughout the school year. He has built strong, meaningful relationships with his peers and has developed a genuine love for listening to and attending read-alouds. He enthusiastically participates in every learning center, approaching each activity with curiosity and confidence. His warm and caring nature shines through in the affection he shows his teachers, often sharing hugs and blowing kisses to let them know how much they are appreciated. Are you good at blowing kisses? Oh, yay, thank you. He He has grown so much as a preschooler and is truly ready for kindergarten. We are so very proud of him and all that he has accomplished. All right, we'll move along to DeWitt and keep it moving. Okay, sorry about that, I was stuck. Ooh, good thing Mr. Gomez pointed it out. Olivia Richardson, come on up. Olivia is a star example of Black Tiger pride. She takes her learning seriously and shows that by always being ready to learn with her materials out, her ears open, and her eyes on the speaker. Olivia has a strong growth mindset. She keeps trying even if she needs to practice until she gets things right. She has even been spotted using some of her mindfulness strategies when she needs a break. Olivia is not only a star student, she is a wonderful friend. She cares deeply about being kind and including others. If there is a job that needs done or a friend that needs help, the class knows they can count on Olivia. Congratulations, Olivia. All right, and our final student of the evening is Chance Yanak. Thank you for waiting so patiently, Chance. Of course you're patient. You're a top tiger, right? All right, Chance is the perfect example of what a Black tiger should be. He approaches every day with a strong work ethic and an inspiring dedication to doing his very best work on each task. Chance is also exceptionally caring and friendly, always looking for ways to help his fellow students and anyone in need. He faces challenges head-on, refusing to shy away from them, and diligently works until he achieves success. His commitment to being truthful, his passion for sports like soccer, and his kindness to his siblings all contribute to making him a true delight to have in class. Congratulations, Chance. All right, well, that was such, oh my gosh, that was so exciting. I just love reading about all the students, and each time I'm always looking for common themes, right? Like we continue to hear how responsible our students are, how empathetic, how caring, kind, all of those great attributes that we'd like to see in our students. And again, I always say this, but it's true, like our students, it's not by chance that they are demonstrating all of these qualities. So parents, families, those of you who are here this evening with your children, please let's have a round of applause.
It's by chance for change. It's by chance for change.
I'm sorry, I can't hear you.
It's by chance for change.
Oh, chance, yes, by chance, yes, we see all these connections this evening. Before we move on, we're going to take some pictures, right? All right, and then what would you like families to do about pictures?
So
Yeah, okay.
what we're going to do is we're going to take a group shot. We'll have our Board of Education members come up first, and we'll do a group shot, and then I'll move out of the way. We're going to bring the screen up here momentarily. Magic. And we will, I'll move out of the way, and then you'll have the opportunity to take a group shot without me being in the picture. And then you're welcome to go out to the lobby to get your yard sign and your legacy t-shirt. And then I'm going to have all of our other recognees, our athletes, our principals that did our PBIS, and our Staff Star Awards come up, and we'll do our adult pictures after that.
Okay, one last thing, because we have our new development. Before we do this, I want to point out that every board member for Board Appreciation Month will get Mr. Harris is here, so I'm going to he will model this. So he's going to get his certificate of appreciation, as well as, I don't know if this is yours, but we'll show you what we are waiting for, board members. So these were created by our IMD class. It's Mr. Gomez, for you, it's Stripes Driving the Bus. Cuyahoga Falls City School District, and on the back it says our 3 goals: culture of caring, facilitating our financial future, and steering to student achievement. So each one of them will get this. Yay! All right? Yeah. Okay. All right. Thanks everyone for obliging and for being patient through our process. So we'll get some.
Are we all done with photos? Yes, thank you. Okay. President Gomez, can you give me a thumbs up when you're ready to restart?
Okay, we're ready for item E, Treasurer CFO's business consent agenda. Ms. Stoikwa?
Thank you. I'd like to recommend the Board of Education approve all items listed in the treasurer's consent agenda.
So moved.
Second.
Any discussion?
Just the 2 minutes from the organizational and the regular meeting last time.
Any questions or comments from the board? Please call the roll.
Mr. Harris?
Aye.
Mrs. Schaefer?
Aye.
Mrs. Zimmerman?
Aye.
Mr. Gomez?
Aye. Item F, your business.
I'd like to recommend the Board of Education approve the December 2025 investment schedule and monthly spending report.
So moved.
Second.
Discussion, please.
Yes. Couple of things. So first we'll look at interest. Just to take a gander. We had a good month of interest, especially in the COPS fund. So right now, at the midway point through the year, we're a little over $1 million. Most of that, about 258,000 of that is in the general fund. With the remainder being in our specialized accounts. So hanging in there, even though we had, obviously you can see in general fund, we had some lower balances, so those amounts are not as huge for December. But I'm guessing we'll see something very similar over the next 6 months. General fund. So this is another, as I said, it follows the trend pattern here of, being one of our lower months in revenue. So obviously a negative result of operations, which I had said in agenda review not to panic, and when you get to the bottom and it looks like $33,000, which is what we have in the general fund. Now we are going to start, this second half where we get all that revenue up front. You may see in January a negative number, just due to the fact similar to how you do at times in food service, as the timing of those payments and things like that. We are not in any kind of cash situation. Obviously, if you look at the reconciliation, we have about $23 million in cash between all of our accounts. I know it's a little hard to, while they're separated by fund in the book, I don't have a separate bank account for each fund. So we do have that kind of flexibility there. So while I don't want to say don't be alarmed, this was not unexpected. As we said, this is what, we've kind of been working to address within the forecast. I'll have the forecast at the second meeting in February. You know, we knew we were gonna end this year, it was, I believe, a little under $500,000, so not much. Again, what's going to be hard, with the forecast being in February now is that, I don't want to say the word, for lack of a better term, I'll say it's going to seem less accurate. It's not necessarily the accuracy is off, it's that when we have a forecast that's in May, we're almost to the end. We pretty much know everything that's happening. I know what our insurance renewal is gonna, I know all this. So the difference between the May forecast and how we kind of end the year usually isn't that significant of a difference. It's, you know, you know, why can't I think of the word right now? I want to say minuscule, but that's not the word. You know what I'm trying to say.
Negligible.
So, yes.
Negligible.
And so, being it now in February, you know, if people are gonna start saying, okay, let's compare the second forecast of the year to how you, it's gonna look different. We have a lot of unknowns still. We don't, like I said, we don't do our insurance renewals until April. You know, we could still get more retirements, you know, we're getting all those things, you know, and some people wait until closer to the end of the school year, and obviously we have that information in May. I just say all that as a caveat before we start, that, you know, before that happens next month, that, you know, it's gonna be more similar to what a previous November forecast looked. It's not gonna be that, there's not a lot that goes on between that November and February. And then the same thing is gonna happen, unfortunately, again in August, because August is right after the start of the year. I mean, school is barely back in session with staffing and all of that. Some of that will not be finalized by August even, last minute things, which, you know, is, I do not like the forecast change, but it is what, you know, kind of what we're dealing with right now. So, but this is about where we expected to be, given what we had in the forecast in October.
One of the things we talked about at agenda review was that bills for first half collections just went out in the mail on Friday for Summit County from the fiscal office. And they're not due, the last day they're due is February 27th. So when we do this February forecast, we won't even have all of our money in from the fiscal office for first half collections. So we won't even have that money. And we also won't know what our delinquency rates are, because, you know, we've talked a lot about property taxes. People say they're having a hard time paying them. With that comes delinquency rates of people not paying them when people don't pay their taxes. We just don't get that money, and that's the delinquency rate.
That will be another big thing, is normally we have the final settlement by the time we would do that forecast, which includes delinquencies, which includes any potential refunds that are due back to people who have contested their valuation, and we don't really get that usually till April sometime, that finalized. You know, we get advances up till then, but we really don't get like the breakdown of it all and like the final numbers until April.
So that'll be really hard to forecast when you don't even have one full collection in. And then with the August one, we won't have the full second collection in by the time the August one's due. So it kind of puts it with very weird timing in terms of understanding that taxes, property taxes are our main source of funding with what the state has given us. So
And in the
going off
future,
of those collection cycles is how we understand how our funding works.
And in the future, it could complicate it more, you know, now that there are provisions in legislation to reduce inside millage, to be inflation. I don't know that we're necessarily, we'll know, but again, we're not gonna know the extent of it, as Mr. Gomez said, when it comes to, when it's time to do the forecast. You know, we'll know what's been billed again, but what happens with that is, we don't know until settlement, which for the fall is typically in the end of September, so.
And I'm not sure they decided what they're setting the inflation off Like the state tax commissioner in October of every year puts out a number. Is that the number they're going on?
I don't know
Because I would be
specifically-
shocked, because that number is usually 6, 7, or 8%.
Yeah.
So I don't know that that would be the intent of their bill, because their intent is to be much lower than that. But the state
Yeah.
tax commissioner's rate is usually in the 6 to
I'll have
8%.
to go back and double check. Like right now, what's in our software is like right around 9%. It has to do, I don't know specifically how they're going to, how it was written into law. I just know that they're using like the GDP as part of that. And so where they're pulling that number specifically from, because
Is
obviously.
really what's gonna be motivating. Yeah.
Yes, and yeah, so, I'm gonna have to look back in and see if if I can get more specifics on specifically where they pulled that number from. But it does offset, those are in, normally, we're not seeing a lot of growth in between appraisal years. But for us, 2026 is a reevaluation year, and they're still expecting somewhere between 10 and 15% increases in valuations, and that's not going to be we're not going to realize the full extent of that on our inside millage. But we are going to be penalized for it on the state side, as if we are getting it.
What's the benefit of the forecast in February and October?
My understanding is that because they've also given more authority to county budget commissions, they have it before their requirements to provide us with a certificate of estimated resources, our rates and amounts, before we're supposed to approve permanent appropriations, so that this is not really going to be an issue for us at the moment in Summit County, but in other counties where the budget commissions have really, they've gone to the extent where they're making school districts present their data. They want all of that stuff before they have to make their decisions on certifying levies or saying they're going to reduce them or not reduce them, because they have now ultimately more power over some local controlled decisions that may have happened, that they can say, we don't think you need it. And so this information times up with giving them all that school information to say, oh, well, here's their forecast, here's what they say they're going to have. They don't really need X,
So
Y,
it's more
Z.
convenient for them, but it's not necessarily going to be accurate information. Okay.
Which also may be the point.
Fantastic.
Yeah. True.
All right. Well, all right.
Well, I don't know that that's a strong argument either, because if a county budget commission wants you to present information, it behooves a district to put that information together anyway, regardless of where they are at in a 5-year forecast cycle. You would just want to put your best foot forward and produce that information regardless, so,
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah, there have been some interesting stories about different county budget commissions across the state of Ohio and their level of being involved in the local school district process, when they really should not have any, really any say. If voters have, approved or, whatever, then that's that. And there's been some really, I've heard some crazy stories. I'm glad in Summit County we don't have that, because it is really proved, problematic for some of those counties and those school districts.
Because there's a lot of multi-county school districts, even ones you think aren't. Talmadge is actually also in Portage County. Stowe is
Stowe is in Portage
also in
County.
Portage County. I think most people know Mogador split between two
Yep.
counties, but people don't think about Talmadge and Stowe being in Portage County.
Yeah.
So they have to go to both budget commissions.
Wow.
Yep.
Springfield's in Portage County too.
Yeah, there's a lot of splits, a pain. I'm glad we're not. So, and really, I think that's the basis of it. We're in the same boat, kind of, food service. We did just receive a reimbursement today for over $100,000, so that is good. And then I pointed out at agenda review that athletics is still doing well, and I don't think all of the money was in from the last home game at the old building. So they're doing pretty well, and ticket sales have been, I've noticed, to be a little bit higher than previous years with the new building. I'm sure is attracting more people and you know, ending of one, beginning of another, so that's good for them. I think that's it.
Any other questions or comments from the board?
Is the food service caught up on the reimbursements, or are they still behind on reimbursements?
So they're always gonna be behind, so like that was
But we're-
December's that we just got.
But from the shutdown, they've been reimbursed?
Yes,
Okay,
yes,
that's
yeah,
all
there's,
covered.
yeah, we're not that far behind
Okay.
anymore, yeah. So this was December's, and then they're always like that month
Right.
behind, because they submit it at the end of the month for what has happened in the month.
Thank you.
And then this month's will be smaller because of lost days.
Yeah. Yep.
Got it.
Please call the roll.
Mrs. Schaefer?
Aye.
Ms. Zimmerman?
Aye.
Mr. Gomez?
Aye.
Mr. Harris?
Your comments?
I'll be honest, I wasn't supposed to be here, so I don't. I don't have a
Kids'
whole.
events got canceled.
Yes, it was supposed to be senior night. This has not been the best last few days for me, but yes, it was supposed to be senior night. It's canceled. I have a daughter that broke her collarbone over the weekend. I don't really have anything for this evening other than we're trucking along. We're doing the best we can here this week. But I did schedule the audit conference. I did want to let you know that. I sent you guys an invitation, and I'll provide the link for, it'll be virtual. So I'll provide the link when we get closer to that date.
Thank you. Item G is Superintendent CO's business consent agenda. Dr. Salko.
Thank you, Mr. Gomez. It is recommended that the Board of Education approves items listed in the superintendent's consent agenda.
Second.
Discussion?
Yes, thank you. Just two items. One is a personnel matter for a volunteer that will help us, has extensive experience in makerspace, so he would like to volunteer with the district. Obviously has undergone all of the appropriate requirements. And secondly, we have a service agreement for the Akron Children's Hospital, and this is the contract for the nursing for the field trip for Washington, D.C.
Questions or comments from the board? I was just going to say, Mr. Shercliffe was actually part of the planning committee for the 612 building, so it's nice to see him giving back now. Please call the roll.
Ms. Zimmerman?
Aye.
Mr. Gomez?
Aye.
Mr. Harris? Aye. Mrs. Schaefer?
Aye.
Thank you. Your comments?
All right, thank you. Just a few mentions, and then we'll talk a little bit about our last few days, which have been eventful. I've managed to get around the last couple of weeks to some basketball games, girls and boys. Got to see them in action, so that was kind of fun. We have our one-act plays that will still go on. That's tomorrow night. We added a Thursday night because we were worried about capacity. So typically we do Friday and Saturday, but we'll do Thursday, Friday, and Saturday. I will be attending tomorrow night. We also had our Severance Hall event was canceled, so I wasn't sure if the board was aware of that, but on Sunday that it wasn't canceled by us. Severance canceled it, and they rescheduled for February. Yeah, so we knew it was bad if they canceled, right? And then we have Black History Month coming up, beginning of February, right around the corner here. I can't believe it's moving along so quickly. Just a couple updates relative to snow days and then our campus update. We're working on, one of the things for the campus we're working on is, one of the challenges we're still having is relative to the arrival time. And students are still getting to class a little bit late. It's cut back greatly. We've done a lot better. Now with this disruption with being off and coming back in cold days and probably more parents transporting their children, I anticipate some delays the next couple of days, more so than they have been. But we would like to start up a shuttle next week on Monday. We were planned and ready to go. We were going to do it this week, but with, again, all of these interruptions, we're just going to wait. But we will have a shuttle only in the morning, and what that's designed for is, that will be at our old campus, old high school campus, Tiger Lane. There, we'll get all those details. Actually, a draft is already created. But what we're trying to do is pull some car riders off of that line. So as you remember, I said we have about 370 car riders each day. If we can get parents of just car riders, so not student drivers. We talked about that originally, but we aren't able to provide an afternoon route right now because we're really stretching it by getting a driver to do this morning route. And afternoon is going much smoother, so it's about 20 minutes, which isn't honestly horrible. And though I know people have other places to go, their students aren't late to class, which is why we're addressing the arrival first. And again, the dismissal's gone pretty well. The arrival then, so the parents can drop off their students, and they have to be prompt, and we'll certainly put out those reminders. We're going to have a shuttle, as of right now, it'll be 7:15 and 7:35. And again, those are the two times. So, if a parent comes at 7:40, they probably should start heading to the new campus because the bus will be gone. And so they will drop the students off in the bus area there and then come back at the second group. So parents can just drop and go. They don't have to contend with, the campus traffic on campus. So if we can alleviate 75 cars, or so coming off the campus, we should be able to close that gap on students being late. We're going to try it. We don't know if parents don't utilize it. Well, then we know that strategy didn't work. We do have plans A, B, and C, so we can go to B and C if need be. We also know that this is probably the worst time of the year that we could be trying to open a school in the midst of, frigid temperatures. We had rain when we first opened, all these cold conditions that are forcing students to, get rides. We might have students that would be walking or riding their bikes, but we just don't have that right now because we're in the dead of winter. So we think in the spring, maybe some of these things can be lifted and we might experience more success. And certainly when BOLC is demolished next year, we anticipate a whole different ballgame here. So that is really where we're at with the campus.
How many 612 students can you fit on a bus?
We said about 50, yeah.
Are you going to have a monitor there while they're waiting?
We're actually.
Do their parents have to be there until the bus comes?
Yeah,
They can't just drop them
well,
off?
they could drop them off if they trust them to stay. It would be no different than standing at a bus stop, I suppose, right? So
I just wonder about, people are early or they have
Yeah.
to wait for 20 minutes, what kind of hijinks might.
Yeah, that's why we're going to give it a
occur.
shot. We're
Okay.
really short on personnel. I wish I
Yeah.
could say that we are so focused on, I need 30 people, if I really were being honest, around the campus, and we just don't have that many to troubleshoot.
Do you think that, the police department might?
They're giving what
Online?
they can to us now at the campus.
Yeah, okay.
I mean, I guess what we're going to do is maybe the first day we'll send someone, one of our directors or someone, or even, one of us will just go sit there and kind of observe it and see how it goes the first couple days to see if we need to make an adjustment there. But we're going to encourage parents to hit those spots, right? Like be there by 7:10. Maybe your child sits in the car with you for a few minutes in the 7:35.
Yeah, don't bring them at like 6:30 a.m.
Right.
That's like, who's responsible in that?
Yeah.
They've dropped their kids off and left and now they're.
Yeah. I think we treat it like it's a bus stop, right?
Yeah,
So, but we certainly will make that adjustment. Mr. Hutch will make note of, and I think Mr. Guessford's here, see if we can get an adult over there, just to at least observe and see, how many, it might be 10 kids, right? It might be, it might be 50 or 70, you might have a big crowd of them. I mean, we'll see as it goes.
That was going to be my other question. What if at 7:35 you have 60 kids? What do we do then?
We'll do another run.
Okay.
Yeah, we have the ability to do another
Okay.
run, meaning one driver. We just don't have a second driver.
Okay.
So that person could. We've already talked
would-
about it. and
We would come out, okay.
And frankly, we'll do a loop to make sure that our students aren't, they'll come back and make sure students aren't still standing there, because inevitably you're going to have some students there, so.
Okay.
We're just going to discourage that, but yeah, we'll make sure they're safe. So that's what we're going to try. All right. Then the obvious, right? We've been out for 3 days. Emails, I've been getting some emails and some feedback, as expected, both sides of the fence, right? I have some parents that are, upset that we're staying open, and others that would prefer that their students be in school. So it's really, we know this, a no-win situation, and trying to weigh all of the pros and cons. Student safety is certainly, top of our list. But I took a call from a parent who has lost her job because she's had to stay home with her students. So those are the kind of stories on that side, right? And then the others are just, really concerned about their child's safety, understandably. So the next 2 days are, I think, -9. It's not the -15 to 18 that that most districts use in that -15 range. So 9, 10, while is bitterly cold, as we know, hasn't really met the threshold that a lot of surrounding districts use. I have been talking with numerous superintendents, numerous. They're faced with the same challenges. Every community is different, so while some chose to stay in, they might not have the same challenges we do, or vice versa. So the superintendents are discussing about trying to keep students in school, even though it is cold. That's been discussed, and maybe things that we can look at for next year. We're far into the season now, but our students will be in the next 2 days. And of course, if it's bitterly cold, if we're talking -20, we'll make a decision to close the schools. We wouldn't risk that. But on these days that are questionable, the goal would be to try to get them in school. I did put out the results of the survey, and some people, aren't real happy with the decision at 70%. On the flip side, that 70% are, would be happy that we're in school. So I know that I can't please everyone, and I recognize that, and so I understand the feedback and the people that are upset, and I'm happy to hear them and happy to talk with them. It's a balancing act, and we're trying to do the best we can, and we're also stretched, to be very honest, which is we have our staff, when we're not here, like no one's here, which is some of the commotions this evening too. We do pay overtime, obviously, and people are coming in and have been salting. We're at a shortage of salt. It's like, again, a perfect storm, and again, no pun intended, but we're trying to salt the paths. We're looking at the high traffic areas. A couple parents have sent me pictures, and I appreciate the Bolick, on Portage Trail and up 13th, like we haven't gotten to all those areas. There's some heavy snow, so I've been in contact with Aaron today. They're going to try to they will get out there tomorrow. He's going to try to get extra some of the gentlemen in, they are men, not being sexist, that would come in and do the sidewalks if they could get to them before, school starts. That's his goal, but they've been taxed. They're spending so much time plowing the snow, and there's nowhere to put our snow anymore, so then they're coming out with snow blowers and trying to move snow. And we know in our own homes, and looking at this, as I'm traveling throughout the streets, they're all piled up. So we're doing the best we can. I know it's not enough for some people, and I apologize for that, but there's really only so much we can do. We're seeing it. It's not just the Cuyahoga Falls schools problem. It's businesses. It's, the state declared an emergency. So it's a parent's choice, and I know people don't like that answer either. I really am not. I really, as a parent, believe that I have to do what's best for my child. And if I believe keeping my child home is the best, then I will keep them home. But that's a personal decision. We will do our best to provide, as I put in, some Google Classroom assignments. Our teachers, I'm sure, would be willing to, help answer parents' questions and help out where we can. And I know that's not what people like to hear either, because they want their children in school, as do I, to receive that direct instruction. But we're also trying to, help and be respectful of parents who want to choose to keep their children at home. So there's no great answers. Like, I'm not going to sit up here and say I have all the answers and I'm going to make everybody happy, because I'm not. So you can expect feedback that's not going to be positive. And I've got some thank yous as well, but it's not what this is about. It's about trying to find a solution that would work for everyone, and there just isn't one. So that's where we're at. And we met as a team today. Cabinet met. We drafted all that information that went out today. We were just trying to hit all the spots. We're trying to provide families with coats, gloves, hats if you need them. We're doing what we can. We'll deliver them to houses. Like, we're trying to help the best we can, but that's where we're at, if I'm just being honest. Yeah.
I think the survey and how many people and how quickly
Yes.
they responded
It's a
to
hot
the
topic.
survey showed people have passionate thoughts about this issue.
They
And
do.
I think as a board, we appreciate the ability to look at the raw results of that data. And we saw how many people respond to the survey, and then
Yeah.
if more people responded, we could see the results, and it,
Yeah.
you know, it would change it, but it basically stayed the same.
It did, and we
in terms
had-
of the raw, the
Yeah.
actual
Yeah.
total results.
And, you know, one of the things I want to tell you that I didn't catch, I read it, so I said 1,500 responses, which is true. So about 1,600 people have responded, but that is reflective of 2,400 students. So that's actually quite a big sample. Like, we don't ever get that sample size in our data. So it's 1,600, but, so when they do a response, it's each individual, so 1,600 people did it, but then they have child 1, child 2, child 3, so then that's where you get the extra. And I missed that the first time I looked at it, but yeah. So it's a lot of students. That's more than the majority, of course, of our students.
Is that more students than we actually have?
No.
Yeah, right. Students getting in there and adding their 2 cents. Yeah.
Multiple,
High school students. They tell me how they feel too, yeah. So I don't know if the board, you know, has any feedback for me or anything else you want me to consider. I'm happy to, you know, I'm listening to parents and their feedback as well, and
I mean, I think it's when the roads are bad, that's one thing. When it's cold, but you're still mobile, that's the challenge.
Yeah.
And I think you're giving, when you call off school, that's the choice.
right.
For everyone. You're putting it into the family's hands. Do
Right.
you feel like your child is safe in the cold temperature? So, I mean, it's always easier when someone else makes the decision for us, but I think it's better to have a choice than not.
That's sort of where our team has been and our superintendents have been talking about, like that's giving parents the choice. Now, if we can work, again, to find a better alternative for families that keep their children home, you know, and we have the Google Classroom as an option, but are there other things we can do? I'm certainly happy to explore that further. I've asked Mrs. Hausman to work on the elementary piece of things that we can provide for our elementary students.
There's a rule that we can only have 3 virtual instruction days, is that right?
There is some of that,
Yeah.
and that's what we're, you know, that's also a battle, because we read and looked at that policy as well, and I spoke with Mrs. Carlisle about it, teachers union president, and virtual is difficult. Our elementary students don't take home the Chromebooks. Could we make that adjustment? We could, certainly. Do they have access, you know, all of those things that were back to the COVID days, right?
I'm not in favor of that, really.
Yeah.
Setting it up is more trouble than it's worth, especially if you're limited on the days you can
Yeah.
even use it,
Yeah.
so.
You have to know in advance that there's
Yeah.
going to be a calamity so that you can plan for
That's right.
the calamity.
Yep.
Having gone through a previous
Yeah.
virtual day situation with Mrs. Carlisle, that was kind of the issue we ran into. So if you don't know that there's going to be a calamity, how can you plan for the calamity to make sure every student
Yeah.
and every staff member takes their technology from the district home so that they can have access to it?
Yes, I heard that from Mrs. Carlisle today, as a matter of fact.
Well, we went through that issue in the past, right, Mrs. Carlisle? Yeah, so.
I think,
Yeah.
well, and then it's the same thing, you know, if I have my kids at home and I'm trying to work from home, it's, you know, inequitable for people that have the time to do the at-home work with their kids and people who don't for whatever reason, so.
I'll say, Dr. Selk and I talked about this, and I didn't tell her what decision to make, which she will verify, because if it's her decision to make, I leave it to her. If it's our decision to make, I'll make my 1/5 of that decision. But what I spoke with her about is just my concern, you know, I know that we certainly have more instructional hours than we're required to by the state, but we do that for a reason, not just because we want to have a buffer so we can have a bunch of calamity days. We do that because we think that there's a value to have more than the minimum amount of instructional hours.
Yes.
And one of those reasons is because we know that from the get, there is more instruction at every grade level than can really be covered in a year. And so that's a concern that I know Mrs. Hausman shares, and it's a concern that I know I and other board members share. And so just from the educational point, that was the concern I shared with Dr. Selico. And how do we make sure we're supporting our staff members and readjusting to how do I reprioritize knowing that I've lost at least a week of the spring semester? What do I make sure now that I teach? Because I've lost at least a week of core instruction time with my students. And I'm certainly, as a board member, not trying to make that decision for any educator, but we have educational leaders that can help our educators, you know, reprioritize, take a look at those pacing guides, and make sure that we're making smart decisions to best use the instructional time that we do have. That was my concern, you know, not to try to guide Dr. Selko to one decision or another, but just about the loss of instructional time that is somewhat beyond our control.
Well, and as we're sitting here, Aaron, I didn't mean to look down, but I see it. He said they'll have the machines out to Bullock. They're going to strive for 5:30 in the morning, so that would be great. They have to do a whole nother machine, he said. This isn't just a snowblower, it's heavy snow. So I know Aaron's been working very hard and people coming in when technically they don't necessarily have to report. They've been coming in to keep up, but.
I mean, can you imagine? God bless them for getting out there and doing that. Thank them for us.
Yep, I will. I will. Thank you. Anything else on that?
Yeah, I would ask the community members that if you have a sidewalk, please shovel it.
Yes.
Especially if you have a bus stop on your street, because when I was driving here, and I do have a bus stop around the corner from my house, and I noticed that it is plowed in, so it will be a mound to stand on waiting for the bus over there.
Well, I'm glad you had mentioned that, because I'm not trying to sound facetious when I say this, because sidewalks are a huge concern everywhere. And some of my superintendents who have colleagues that have a lot of walkers are very concerned about sidewalks. The challenge we have is we don't control what residents do on their own homes. The city is taxed as well, right? They're doing the best that they can, but they also can only get to so many sidewalks. And then if we wait for this, there's only two ways that I think sidewalks can get cleared in being realistic. And again, I'm not trying to be silly when I say this. It's either it melts or it gets pressed down from so many people walking on it that it makes it walkable. If people are unable, I mean, we have elderly, we have other people who are unable to do their sidewalks. If you're able, great. I really appreciate if you can help us out. But I don't have a good answer. I have an email that I have to answer that's going, that's concerned about the sidewalks. And I just, as a superintendent of schools, I can't get all these sidewalks cleared, and I don't know what the answer is. We would be out for weeks, maybe, if it took that long for the snow to melt, and I don't know what that answer is. I'm happy if someone has an answer. I don't care who gives me it, I'm happy to have it and receive it, but I really legit don't know what to do about sidewalks not being cleared. We can do ours, and we will, but.
There was I think 4 students who were being entrepreneurial about.
I saw that, yeah.
Nice.
Really cool.
Yeah.
That's what we used to do too.
Maybe we should give them let them advertise.
Yeah.
Hire our students to clear your sidewalk.
That's great. Well, actually, Ms. Bogdan today suggested if we can get some of our athletes too because they've been known to do some heavy lifting, so we can also engage our players.
It's a workout.
Yeah, good workout.
Talk to Coach Ozyamek and see if he can include that in a lifting
Yeah,
schedule.
yeah, really. That's all.
Thank you.
All right, thanks. I think I'm next again, right? Okay.
Give an update for it.
Yeah, just a brief update on, and I have a couple of our colleagues here that were in attendance. So we had our portrait of a black tiger. First meeting, our second one was yesterday, was supposed to be yesterday, it was canceled. So just giving you an update on the first one, and we'll obviously revisit it when we're further down this path. But we had such a great turnout. We met in the library, media center here. We had 34 members, of which comprised students, staff, parents, faith-based members, community members. So we just had it was a nice cross-representation, more than what we're typically used to seeing. But Jeff Ferguson did a very nice job facilitating. Like, I always read the room and see people's level of engagement. I think people were really engaged, enjoying what he was showing. He showed some video, so he basically was setting the stage for the portrait work, right? Like, telling what a portrait looks, what it is, and the why. He talked a lot about the why. Why is this important? And he went back to talking about, like, the competencies and, you know, what traits do we need? And he talked a lot about future employment. And he showed some really startling, really, videos of how essentially humans are obsolete anymore in many ways, right? So many robots and other ways of technology are, we know, AI, all of it are taking place. So how do we adjust to that, and, you know, where do we go with that as humans, and wanting to preserve work for all of ourselves, and how we prepare students for that. So he talked a lot about that. He did some work on the core competencies. He had people break up into small groups and write lists of competencies and things that they felt were important. And then the homework was to come back. I believe you were supposed to cut out the 5 top competencies that you believe are important, and then bring them back, which was supposed to be yesterday, but will be next week. And then we'll have our following makeup in February 10th. So that's as far as we've gotten.
And what, is the output going to be the competencies? Okay, so then we'll do the design piece.
Right? So they're going to do one more session of the competency work to narrow it down, come up with it, and then the third session is the graphic design. And we have art teachers coming.
Okay. Did you give them our idea?
I love that.
Not yet, but we have 2 representatives who can share
Mr.
it.
Harris,
Oh, I got it.
Mr. Harris has it, he knows.
Yeah.
He thought of it
Good
too.
idea.
Okay.
So it went really well, I thought. I don't know if
really
anyone
did.
else wants to.
Do you know, generally speaking, like how many competencies they're thinking of, or are they not burdened by a number? in
They're not burdened by a
general?
number,
Okay.
but I think he probably is around the 5 to, like, maybe give or take. I don't know. Did you get a number out of that, Mrs. Schaefer?
Said
Did you
cut
feel?
5 out.
Yeah.
I didn't know if that's what they were doing, or if it was like, but if we see like
7.
7, or, I mean, I don't know.
Yeah, it's really dictated by us and how many,
Okay.
some go far more, some are
Yeah,
less.
and I think 5 was kind of a number he was hovering around, because then the example that he gave was think of 5. So I think 5 must be what he's thinking, but probably what we want.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Brings us to item I, board business. Number 1 is resolution of declaration, Cuyahoga Falls Library 2.2 mil levy. It's recommended the Board of Education approve the attached resolution submitting the question of an additional tax levy for the purpose of current expenses of the Cuyahoga Falls Library to the electors of the Cuyahoga Falls City School District pursuant to sections 5705.03, 5705.21, and 5705.19D of the Ohio Revised Code.
So moved.
Second.
Any discussion?
Just real quick, so the library, I don't know if I mentioned last time, so, you know, most libraries are governed by their district, as we are, so there are only about 19 that are considered associations, and the Cuyahoga Falls Library is one of them, which doesn't mandate that we are the person, but typically, like I think Hudson goes with their city and things like that. So there was some confusion with the recent legislation changes of what was required as a certification, so that's why this was not up till kind of the last minute. I received the certification back on Monday, and our attorney had some concern that now with school levies, you know, they have to put the balance in excess of 100% if we have more than 100% carryover. And considering that this is under the jurisdiction of a school district, they didn't have that on there because they were looking at it like the library levy. It was, so we put it on there as kind of we believe we need it. The county was not exactly sure of it. Obviously, it's gonna be the state at the end of the day and the Board of Elections that accept it. We put it on there. It says 0 and 0% because obviously we don't. So what that refers to on there is actually ours because we would be the taxing authority, not the library's balances. They say 0 and 0, so it's not like there's anything. However, I just wanted to make you guys aware of that. That will be the language. It'll say like the school district's in excess in line. So we did that just to be safe, whether they determine we need it or not for something like this. We just didn't want to run into any issues up against the deadline to file for the May election for the library. But the Cuyahoga Falls Library is about one of 19 that are kind of deemed this way in the state of Ohio because they're an association. So I learned a lot this time around with this levy and us having to kind of dig into some things there, especially with legislation changes. But just so you're aware when you see that language.
Can we just put this on for them because we are their taxing agency? We actually are required by law to vote for this. And then their levy committee will advocate their position on this. Any other questions or comments? Please call the roll.
Mr. Gomez?
Aye.
Mr. Harris?
Aye.
Mrs. Schaefer? Aye. Ms. Zimmerman?
Aye.
Thank you. Number 2 is a proclamation of National Career and Technical Education Month. To recommend the Board of Education proclaims February as National Career and Technical Education Month.
So moved.
Any discussion?
I forgot to mention that I did go to the Kent State Career Fair, so that was very nice, well attended. They always do a nice job.
Mr. Harris, why as well?
Oh, yeah.
Please call the roll.
Mr. Harris?
Aye.
Mrs. Schaefer?
Aye.
Ms. Zimmerman?
Aye.
Mr. Gomez?
Aye. Number 3 is future agenda items. At our next meeting, the administration wants to bring forth an agenda item to present and possibly have discussion on open enrollment. And then at the second meeting in February, Ms. Toykoi is going to bring forth and present the 5-year forecast and then some preliminary possibilities of potential levy millage for November. And like she said about the 5-year forecast, those won't necessarily be firm because things will be in flux, but just to start throwing some things out so we can get some things thought up so we can get on a path of where we might go, give us some options to think about for future discussion. Do we have other future agenda items? I have two. I wanted to make sure nobody else had stuff before I kept speaking. I wanted to know if we could have a brief presentation about the teaming model that's being worked on at the middle school,
Yeah.
like the plan for the teaming model,
Thank you.
and then some explanation about what was provided to us about that for the potential for next year. Because I think it would help to understand the vision for what Ms. Hausman is trying to accomplish with the teams, and then help us understand some potential proposals for those at the same time. I think all together, that would be helpful.
Yeah, it was on my list to talk to her about
Yeah.
that, so.
And I
that's
was
a
like,
good
I think
idea.
if we get that all together, it would be helpful. And then the other thing was the Teacher Clarity 3.0 presentation we received. There was just a lot of really good information, and I feel like if we ask you to present all of that, it's too much. But I don't know, I feel like pieces and parts of how direct instruction is making a difference in our classrooms, I think that's important for us to dig into as a board and to value more and understand. And that was a big part of it. So if we could get in, a little mini presentation on that. I don't want you to have to give that whole presentation to us. I think that's too much to ask for at a board meeting. But just that piece that you were really digging into about how direct instruction and how it was making an impact as I was kind of getting deep into that. I think that's important for us to value as a board and give time to at a board meeting to dig into and appreciate and understand more as a board.
Do you have an idea of the time? We actually talked about the teaming model. I had asked Ms. Hausman to do that.
The teaming
Do you have
piece,
a-
I think you all need to speak to us about in
Yeah.
terms of
Yeah.
when you need a decision on that, so,
Well, it has direct implications
yeah,
for
so that,
productions.
that's why
Yeah.
you need to give us that timing. And then the other thing, I think March is fine,
Okay.
because
Okay.
February's filling, so
Okay.
I'm fine with March on the other one,
Okay.
because it'll still be relevant. But I was gonna ask you all when you need that.
I'm going to guess second meeting of February, if that's okay with you? Okay. I know it's Top Tiger
We'll be
Night,
talking about money
but-
anyway, so
all right.
unfortunately.
Okay. All right, got it. Okay. Thank you.
Thank you. Brings us to number 4, committee report. I had a thought to try to make this more effective and efficient this year. We'll just go down the line for board members, and if you have any of your committees to report on, just do it at that time instead of bouncing around. And if it doesn't work, we'll go back to the old way. So, Mr. Harris, any reports?
No, not really. Just, I haven't decided yet. The state legislative conference is coming up, I think, in March. So I'll figure out if I'm going to go to that. There's probably a lot of good nuggets of information I can bring back, given all the property tax stuff happening. So I'll be making a decision on that soon. So, but Business Alliance Council, we're meeting next week.
All right, thank you. Mrs. Zimmerman?
Well, I haven't had anything yet, but I do have an alumni association meeting on February 10th, so I don't know about financial.
I mean, it's not till next month,
Okay,
so next month in May, I'll let me do that now. Send the invite to you there, I'll send the invite to you.
okay.
Thank you. Ms. Schaefer? Okay. We have a board policy meeting on February 18th coming up, and then for community engagement empowerment team, we actually met last night, because we meet virtually, so we were able to still meet. So that's part of the culture of caring goal. So it's led by Mr. Elder. We have 3 subgroups: community, staff, and students. So we separated into our subgroup teams. And Mrs. Allen, who was here earlier, she joined that. I asked her personally if she would join it because we didn't have a parent representative on that strategic plan goal team. So she joined that, and she was there last night. I was on the community team, which is led by Ms. Stewart, and we had really good discussion in our group, and we got really close. We were like this close to like landing our plane and kind of picking what we were gonna do, and then we got called back into the main group. So we're gonna meet again in February to plan it, because we had really great discussion, kind of about setting the intention of what our group was gonna be, and having conversations about why maybe some other things that we've tried in the past maybe haven't been as successful, even though we think they had great value in them. So it was really great, and I think we have a kind of a good idea. We're this close, so we're gonna finish that up in February, and excited to have more for you all. Okay, number 5 is comments. Mr. Harris.
Yeah, just another congratulations to all we recognize so many folks tonight, so just congratulations to all of them, to our Top Tigers. I was able to make it to the high school walkthrough, the old high school, and I made a post about this, but not being an alumni, it didn't really matter, being in that building. You're walking through and you're hearing all these stories from folks, and as I was in the little theater, and this guy ran up and hugged this young girl and said, "I haven't seen you since law school. I haven't seen you." It's just like hearing those stories, people coming back to the place, it was really something special. So I'm really glad I got to do that. I also attended the 6th District, the CTE showcase out at Kent. It was really cool, seeing the students, sharing some of the stuff they're doing. I spoke with some of the students in criminal justice. Really, I'm just amazed by like forensics forensic stuff. And I'm like, you guys are doing it. I'm sitting on my couch watching it happen, you know. But they showed me some of that stuff. I spoke with Mr. McIntosh. They're very excited about getting that greenhouse up and running here soon, and then the medical office and business management, you know, them sharing some of the amazing stuff they've been doing with the folks over at City Hall as well. And then just Doc, I know I mentioned this, you know, every Black History Month, but I'd love to, you know, and I think you do share with us, you know, what folks are doing in their classrooms to commemorate folks in the month too. So I'd really appreciate that. But that's all I have.
Thank you. Mr. Harris, Mrs. Schaefer?
I don't have much. I did go through the walkthrough at the high school. I did run into someone that I haven't seen since the 1900s. That was exciting. And seeing our class tigers painted on the wall, so, you know, seeing, I've been to the high school bunches of times, but to see some of the other people walking through and be like, there's our tiger, so that is kind of neat still. And, you know, what's happening with the tigers, what's happening with this, what's happening with that. So that is kind of neat. People still care about the memorabilia in the high school. I went to the Roberts walkthrough as well. And I didn't attend Roberts, but my son went to Roberts. And it hasn't been that long since I've been in that building. But I was in the PTA there, so I walked through it. And I got my last year at the Roberts PTA, we stopped going through to collect our mail into the office. We had to ask for our mail at the last year, so I got to walk back to the mailboxes. I felt like I was doing something wrong. But a lot of people were at these walkthroughs. They really cared about getting into those buildings and making that last walk through the building and making those last memories and talking about remember back when and passing on stories and everything. And at the high school, the second day at the high school, there were so many people there. It was very, very busy. But yeah, good times. That's all I have.
Thank you, Mrs. Schaefer. Mrs. Zimmerman?
Well, I was supposed to go to 2 different trainings for board member stuff. Both were canceled.
Oh, yeah.
So, you know, I don't have too much to report, but I am looking forward to the one-act plays. I plan on going to those. I was a theater nerd myself, so, yeah, looking forward to it.
Thank you. I'm up next. Yesterday was Leslie Frank's birthday, so I want to wish her a
Happy birthday.
And then I, on Saturday, was able to go to our annual art department's Lego event. Brought both my nephews with me. They were very excited, thrilled by all the Lego displays. It's always very impressive every year. And they did have one guy there who was on, I think it's called Lego Masters, the Netflix TV show. So they were really impressed by that. But the student submissions every year get more and more impressive.
It's a real thing.
What our young students are able to make out of Legos is really cool. So it's just really amazing all the different things that our art department comes up with. So I enjoyed that, and I did go to the last day at the high school, old high school, walked through as well. I was there just about the whole time. Ms. Hausman did a great job holding it down, holding her spot, keeping people in line and responsible.
I believe it.
But as someone that graduated from the high school as well, it's definitely all emotional to say goodbye, but I'm excited for all the new opportunities our students will see in this building. But one of my favorite stories is I was up in the art rooms. There's a lady there, and she retired in 1996 as an art teacher from our building. And her husband was a woodshop teacher, and she was telling me all about this cabinet that was in the back that he built for her because she said she just didn't have enough storage when she was an art teacher, and that.
They still say that today. No.
And he built that for her in the wood shop and brought it up
wow.
to the 3rd floor. And as she said, we didn't have an elevator then. So he carried it from the wood shop up to the third floor for her. So it was really just a sweet
that's love.
story as they were telling.
Mrs. Summers?
I don't know what her name was, but it was just a really sweet story
That
that
is
they were
sweet.
telling. So I really, really enjoyed that. And I saw a lot of people I graduated with reminiscing as well. And the last thing I'll say is those were my two fourth grade teachers that we honored tonight. And everything Miss Walton said was so true. That's how they were 27 years ago when they taught me the year of Y2K. So we had a lot of fun, as you can imagine, being a fourth grader with all the chaos of the world and Y2K. And I remember when we left for winter break, they said, "We'll see you next year if we're still here." You could hear them
I
saying
could.
that, right?
Yeah.
And then I remember hearing we were talking in class one day, hearing on the news after we came back from Y2K, and all these people talking about, like, we're gonna have to figure out how to write 00 on our checks. And none of us knew what a check was, and we were like, what's a check? And they just stopped class and spent 5 minutes explaining what a check was and like how to write a check, and that's when I learned how to write a check. And that's just the kind of teachers they were, that they would take 5 minutes just to explain something to you, and it made such an impact on you. So
They're great.
great people that will be missed when they finally retire at the end of the year. Item J is executive session. Number 1 is executive session per Ohio Revised Code 121.22G1. Pursuant to Ohio Revised Code, Section 121.22G1, is hereby moved that the board adjourn to executive session to consider the employment and compensation of a public employee or official. I need a second.
Second.
Thank you. Please call the roll.
Mrs. Schaefer?
Aye.
Ms. Zimmerman?
Aye.
Mr. Gomez?
Aye.
Mr. Harris?
Thank you. We're in executive session at 7:28 PM. There'll be no action other than adjournment after.